Hello again, and welcome for the first time in 2020 to the Variable Y Minute. I am your host, the Variable Y. I want to thank you guys so much once again for joining me. We took a little time off for the holidays, of course, because I knew you guys would be out there with family and traveling and opening Christmas presents with your kids, or, opening your Hanukkah gifts or your Kwanzaa gifts or your Festivus gifts, whatever you guys celebrate. I hope you got all had a very, very safe and wonderful holiday season and you enjoyed your time off. Now we are back to work and we are back and better than ever. And today, because we are talking, because of the type of year that we're in, it's the beginning of January. So you know what that means. Playoff football time. So today I wanted to talk about, and I know I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about how interesting it is that there are some guys, some quarterbacks who guys just find reasons to like, and they find reasons to make excuses for them, and they find reasons to applaud them whenever they do something that they they should be able to do on their own without any of this applause. So I was watching the game yesterday, the Vikings game, and it was a pretty good game. As a matter of fact, I have to say that all four games this weekend were actually really, really good games. If you want to see football, I guess at its very height, then this weekend would have been a great time for you to watch pro football because it was fantastic from game one to game four. They were all amazing. Two overtime games. All the games came down to big plays at the end. It was again, it was amazing. So, excuse me, a little under the weather. Sorry, but I was watching the game yesterday, the Vikings versus the Saints game. Now, excuse me, all of you who know me know I'm peace up, A town down. So anytime the Saints lose, it's a great day in my house. So you know who I was cheering for. And for once, I was cheering for your man, Kirk Cousins. But I find it rather hilarious that now all of a sudden he's the guy who could win the big one. As opposed to being the guy who's been overpaid and a little overrated for just being a regular quarterback, now he's the guy who can win the big game. He won one playoff game. You know who else has won one playoff game? Tim Tebow. Are- Guys, can we pump the brakes on who we anoint to be these great quarterbacks? Like, we all know that Kirk Cousins is a very decent quarterback. And we also know that Kirk Cousins gets paid like he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And we all know good and damn well that Kirk Cousins is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now, he has a Super Bowl winning roster. He has a Super Bowl winning running back. He has Super Bowl winning receivers, a Super Bowl winning tight end. Looks like a Super Bowl offensive line. If that defense can do anything, he may actually make a Super Bowl. He may make some plays in the Super Bowl. By God, he could win the Super Bowl. You know who else won the Super Bowl not too long ago? Old, decrepit, couldn't throw past his knees, Peyton Manning, when he was like 100 years old and his body clearly failed him and they had to rely on their defense to win that Super Bowl. So I just want everybody to just pump your brakes, number one. Number two, explain to me why, again, it's okay for us to anoint some guys as these great quarterbacks. Oh my God, they just can't. They need all this help, and we got to help these quarterbacks out, and they can't win unless they get help. And then we anoint other guys as busts and as trash and as never can be anything just because we give them a year and a half, 2 years tops, and they can never do anything right. So that's all I wanted to get off my chest tonight, guys. It, I have these things about quarterbacks and how they're perceived, and it really kind of bothers me. So every time I hear something that I find crazy, I'm going to bring it to light. But as we're wrapping up the football season, we're not going to get into a lot more football after that unless there's something big that comes up. But again, wanted to get in front of you guys for the first time in 2020 and just say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy holidays to all of you and welcome back. And we are back and better than ever. I will see you guys tomorrow. I thank you guys so much for subscribing, so much for tuning in, so much for following. All the people who do follow, we really appreciate it. Any of you who want to follow, not just on Instagram, but if you want to follow on YouTube, you can find me at The Variable Y Minute on YouTube. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Variable Y altogether. And if you just so happen to want to follow me on Twitter, although I'm not very active on Twitter, I probably will be in the new year. Then you can follow me at The Variable. But this is your man, Variable Y, signing off. Have a great night, guys.